say, Malolele, in Fiji they say, Pura Vinaka, in Samoa they say, Talo Falaba, in New Zealand they say, Kiora Oe, in Hawaii they say, Aloha Oe, but in America, the happy, happy day, Fia, ma obe. Awe, te vai na tahiti, whakalavetara oe, alomi e. Awe, te vai na tahiti, whakalavetara oe, alomi e. Tahiti nui ia te whare awe, tauga herea. Mama, ia te uri awe, pea te urua. Awe, oh yeah. Awe la oh yeah, mama. Awe la oh yeah, mama.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here with a very, very special guest tonight. And, before we go into the introduction, I'm going to ask many of you to please give us a minute or two here so that we can share this program. Anybody with a Facebook, please, you can find this on my Facebook, Siwaki Levi, and any messenger, and I'm trying to find other people that own a messenger. I guess Junior New Tupuivaha might have one, so I'm going to try to find it there. Okay. Anyway, here are some of the people that I'm sharing this to, and hopefully they can help me to share this. Anyway, while I'm working on sharing this program, I'll turn this time over to my special guest tonight, Art Henneman, for the introduction, and then we'll continue. Thank you very much. It's an honor to have you here. Go ahead.
Thank you, Shaki Levi. It's been a while, but we're honored as well and grateful for the opportunity to participate on your fabulous worldwide international show. So thank you. I have my son here, Shez, my seventh son, and he's been begging me if he could please do the introductions tonight for me.
To have that honor, yeah? Man, that's great.
That's so exciting. This is my dad, Arthur Dole Hanneman, son of Max and Irene Hanneman. His wife is the amazing Peggy Hanneman. They've been married for 46 years and have 7 sons and 23 grandchildren. He founded 15 years ago the company Seven Brothers Restaurant. He owns a nonprofit organization called Fathers and Mothers for Children and have been fighting for children for 10 years now. He received his bachelor degree from BYU Hawaii and his graduate degree from University of Redlands. So yeah, Arthur Hanneman.
Thanks, son.
Wow.
Anyway.
That's a great job. And, Art, it's a long journey for us to get here. And ask your son to please, if they go to my Facebook, Siwaki Levi, I shared it there, and he can share it to, hopefully, to the rest of our group, so they can help to share the program. We have, let me say in Tongan, because a lot of the Tongans that are in here today, right now, I'll speak in Tongan for that. Ko kore atu ka inga, ko e tangata mahuinga e ni ko hene meni e ni. I loa au pito ia I Hawaii, I Hamoa, pea oku lotonga lele e ke ofisi ko e ko Senator i Hawaii. Tokoni lahi au pito ia ka mautolu I ka huku area. Pe koe kore atu ke share atu ki ngai family takitaha. O koe concern lahi a tama koe ni mo to utupu mo ngai palo pale malahi o hoko o au ke Pasifiki. O tata whio ki Tonga. Pe ko ia ko kore atu ke mo whamore more mua tokoni mai he tausio ke share ke koe mea koe tene vahe atu e aonga lahi au pito ia ke tau nofo tau te whito ki he whānau, ke tau ngahi tauhi whānau. I just share with my people that you're running for the office of senator and that you have so many experience and of course from the South Pacific, and all the name Hannemans is well known throughout Samoa and Tonga, Hawaii, and it's an honor that you like to run, and basically I think you are going to do so much for our people, and I just invited them that you're gonna be working so also with some issues that we are dealing with right now, that you will address it. And man, it's great to have someone like you to start to speak on our behalf. But with that being said, I'm going to ask you to say a few things, whatever you want to say to add to what has been said. And then, of course, I have a set of questions that I'll be running through with you. But go ahead, Art. You may add some introduction to yourself with a few things before we get going.
Sure, you bet. Thank you, Shwaki. And again, it's appreciate seeing you again, and it's been a while. And I remember we did a little bit of some service for the football team back in the day when you were that outstanding coach and taking that team to unbelievable heights. So fond memories. But yes, we've been living in Hawaii now since 2003. My family, we moved here from California, and we came over here. We have 7 sons, and we came here in the beginning with 4, and we only had 1 son at the time that was married. But today we have 6 sons that are married. We have 23 grandchildren, and I'm still working on the 7th son. So if there's any Tongans out there in Tongan land, his name is Hanneman, and he loves Tongan girls. Yes.
Hey, we'll have that. Yeah, we'll keep that in mind. Man, like I said, there's so much going on in our community all over the United States nowadays, and I'm just so glad to have you at this time. But like I said, I have sets of questions that I think it will clear a lot of things. The first question I have for you, Art, is what motivated you to run for office?
Thank you. That's a really good question. I'm 67 years old. And we don't need to do this. My wife and I were on a mission from 2015 to 2018. We served a mission in Samoa. When we came back, we traveled to Indonesia, to Malaysia, to China, to Hong Kong, to New Zealand. I mean, quite a few places, Canada. And we really enjoy traveling. In fact, we have an opportunity to open up a 7 Brothers restaurant in Apia, Samoa.
Oh, you really open in Samoa?
Yeah, we have a strong desire to do it. We were going to do that when we first came back from our mission, but then Samoa was hit with the measles epidemic, and so therefore they closed the borders at that time.
Of course, yeah.
They reopened the borders for a very short time, and they closed them again because of the pandemic. And now August 1, they'll open up, so it's been a while. But yes, we want to do a 7 Brothers there in Samoa. Strong desire to do that. So we've been excited about doing a lot of things and moving forward with our life and our children and 7 Brothers, of course. We started franchising in Utah. So it's been a wonderful family business. But some things have been happening here in Hawaii. that have been multiplying, and it's been gathering steam, if you will.
Yes.
10 years ago, Lupe Nutupuivaha and Junior and a bunch of other people, we got involved in SB1. SB1 was a same-sex marriage bill. And the idea behind that bill, as far as the people are concerned, was the people wanted to vote on it. The people begged, pleaded, testified, wanting the opportunity to vote on SB1. But in the Senate, where it went first, and then in the House, they both legislative bodies denied the people the opportunity to vote on that bill. And as a result, they voted for the people, and of course they voted yes. It's not so bad that it was passed, but it's bad that the people were denied the opportunity to vote on it in November. You see, here in Hawaii, we have about 1.4 million people. In the Senate, we have 25 seats in the Senate, and we have 51 seats in the House. That's 70 people. 76 people decide the course of the 1.4 million people. And to me, that is extremely disturbing, especially when the people's voice is being denied by those in whom we choose to represent us. So 10 years ago, they slammed the door on the people saying, no, we're not going to have you vote on this. We will vote. And they did. So we come back from our mission in 2018, and they have the windmills. So before Peggy and I went on our mission, we fought the windmills with a lot of other people here in the community, as you know.
Yeah.
And come back in 2018, and there they are. They're everywhere. And the question is, how did that happen when the majority of the people, the majority in Kahuku, did not want the windmills?
Yes.
How did that happen? So, and then the other thing is, no one in Kahuku benefits 1 ounce of energy, not one bit from those windmills. So my proposal regarding the windmills is those windmills should be uprooted and replanted in the community, in the town or the city.
Who wanted it?
That is benefiting from those windmills, because no one's here. But the thing is, again, no one listened to the people. The people in Kahuku said, we don't want this. They weren't listened to. And then almost overnight, there they are. So how does that happen? So that was the second thing. And then 3 years ago, there was another bill. It was the gambling bill. The gambling bill went before the House and the Senate, and it almost passed. And you know, Shiwaki, if gambling was if gambling was to happen here in Hawaii, it would change the landscape of this state. Hawaii is a family-friendly state. If you introduce gambling, it's going to affect those who come here to Hawaii, because the number one industry here in Hawaii, of course, is tourism. And gambling brings in a very dark element: prostitution, drugs, sex trafficking, all that bad stuff, right? Therefore, it's going to change the landscape of Hawaii. But thankful, Senator Kurt Favela, the one lone Republican senator in the Senate, fought that with other people. Peggy and I were involved, and it was deferred. That bill died. And then a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, there was another bill, and it was a no bail bill. It was a bill for criminals at a lesser level, that there would be no bail. They would be able to roam the streets and there'd be no bail. Thankful that one was vetoed by our governor here, Governor Ige, but that bill also was fought by Senator Kurt Favela. Again, these bills were not given to the people. It was the legislative bodies, the Senate and the House, that passed these bills. Now, the other interesting thing is, in March, on the 17th, I was notified by Lupe and Bob McDermott, who's a representative in the House, and Senator Kurt Favela, who's in the Senate, that 2 bills were coming through to become law. The one was HB 2125, which was a bill to criminalize parents. And then right behind that one was HB 1697, a bill that would sexualize our children as early as 5 years of age.
Wow.
Now, these bills were not known to us. Those who made these bills known to us were Bob McDermott and Senator Kurt Favela, who live on the other side of the island. That's the area that they represent. So we found out from them regarding these bills, and Lupe Yutupuiva. So that was on the 17th that I was notified. Immediately with Lupe and a number of other people, we rallied a number of people together. We submitted testimonies. We protested. We held signs. We marched from ward all the way to the Capitol building.
Wow.
And then we held signs, big signs, in Senator Michelle Kadani's area, Milani, in her area. She is the chair of the Education Committee. That was the committee that was hearing these two bills.
Wow.
So we held in her area saying, please say no to 1697 that would sexualize our children, and please say no to 2125 that would criminalize parents. And thank the Lord, on the 23rd of March, 6 days later, at 3:00 in the afternoon, the date and time of the hearing of that bill, she took to the mic during that session and she said, 2125 will be deferred, because she had over 250 testimonies from parents.
Wow.
The mayor who did not want that bill to criminalize parents. And she only had 5 testimonies in favor of. So again, you have this body of 76 legislators who are passing bills and making laws without the 1.4 million people and their voice being heard. So that's the direction of our state in regards to those things that are affecting our families here in Hawaii. My question to them is, of the 1.4 million people in Hawaii, how many people came to you, senators and representatives, wanting a bill, a law, to criminalize parents? That was a 1-year prison term and a $2,000 fine if a parent was found speaking to the Board of Education in a tone that they deemed was harassing them or having the intent to harass them.
Man.
And if they deem that parent as harassing them, that parent could be thrown in jail and receive a 1-year prison term and a $2,000 fine. And 1697 was the one that came right behind it. And so my question would be, how many people of the 1.4 million people in Hawaii came to you wanting a bill, a law, to sexualize their children as early as 5? And how many people came to you of the 1.4 million wanting to criminalize parents? There's outside organizations that are moving these issues forward here in Hawaii. So yes, very, very concerned in regards to how our...
I tell you what, I'm sorry, man. I'm so overwhelmed. Here I am, just moved here, but, still in Hawaii. Man, we are so overwhelmed with the information that you give. And I am so happy that we're talking about, and I know there's thousands more info, but let me share with you one of the comments here by Dr. Reverend Kalesita Uluave. You recognize the name Tu'ifua, yeah? But Uluave, this is her comment, and I want to share it with you. She says, Mr. Art Henneman stands for the people to be heard and have the rights to vote. Wrongful installation of the windmill in Kahuku, which is not benefits our community. To stop bills that are not known to us, such as criminalize parents and sexual liberalize our children. Need to stop the body of 76 legislators who were making laws without listening to 1.4 million people of Hawaii. Please vote for Hanneman. You see how quick they pick up as you talk, and thank you, Karesita, for sharing. You know, you can tell that she's taking note. I know you're talking real fast, but some of these people, believe me, I wish our committee was more prepared with Facebooks so that when I share it, then they can share into them, you know, so they can have more. But I tell you what, when we finish this talk right here that we have, it's going to be here forever. So we're going to keep sharing this information, and we're going to pick thousands of viewers within the next week, you know. So I am so happy with what you're sharing, because it's new to a lot of people, including me. There's a lot of things it's too deep. So I'm sorry, but I just needed to say something to give my audience a little room to digest the information, because wow. And thank you, Dr. Karesita Uluave Tuifua, for rephrasing, and she's writing it on the comments, you know, so that people can pick up, you know, some of the things. So thank you. Mahafutau Sevelo, malo apito e whanongo mai. You know, this is from the Kaneohe community in here, you know, and I'm going to encourage you guys to please share the program so that many can watch it live, because some of your questions that the audience that you may say and do here, will hold it, or if I get enough time to look and read, that's why I'll read the comments, that way I may relate it to you. But thank you, Dr. Winse Tua Onelangi. You know, this is the Langi family, you know.
Yeah.
She says, hi, Art. We were neighbors in TVA. Great to see you. Say hi to Peggy. Love your articulating issues that affect your parents and families. You'll be a great senator. Wishing you all the best. Question: what's your chance of winning in blue liberalized Hawaii? But anyway, man, thank you. This is Winnie Se, married to Eliki Langi. You know, I guess you guys were neighbor at TVA. We're taking it back to the days. Winnie and Karesita and many Mahafutau, all of you who's here. Sorry, I won't have much time to read all the comments. Share, please. I'll turn the time back to you. This is outstanding. Go ahead.
So my campaign. So on the 17th, on March 17th. Lupe and a number of people were at the Capitol. We were rallying together against 1697 and 2125. And as we were on the rotunda, looking up, because at the Capitol building on the second and the third floor are where the House representatives and the senators are.
Yes.
And as I was standing on the rotunda with all the people rallying together against these bills, I looked up and I thought to myself, we can do all the rallying and all the protesting and all the marching and all the submitting testimonies.
But those people up there.
But really, I got to get up there.
Yeah.
Up there. I can't do a whole lot here. I got to get up there. That's where I need to be. So from that point on, I made it a matter of prayer to do this. I'm not doing this for the money. I don't need the money.
I know that. Yeah.
I'm not for a title. I don't need the title. I don't need to be called a senator or anything like that. My favorite scripture is where the Father introduces Jesus Christ by saying, "Behold, this is my beloved Son." It's that simple. I love that. So, but I see that there's a tremendous need here in Hawaii. Why? There are 25 Senate seats, 25 senators. And of the 25 senators, only one is a Republican. 24 are Democrats. In the House, there are 51 seats in the House here in Hawaii. 47 are Democrats. 4 are Republicans. there's a tremendous imbalance. So no matter how hard you march, protest, submit testimony, do all that you need to do to fight these things, there will always be another bill and another bill and another bill and another bill and another bill. And I feel that we need to get more involved as Christians.
I think I need to stop you right here. And I think it's critical that you dare to educate us, because like you said, some of us, we cannot keep up with the bills. If we're not aware of it, it's going to go right before we know it, it pass, you know?
Right.
So that is so not right. But yes,
That's right.
Yeah, go ahead. Man.
Yeah. So that's why I'm running. Because the bills are introduced to the House and the Senate in January, every January. Session begins from January, I believe, until May, when the legislative body, when they meet and they discuss the different bills and they pass them as law. So I want to be the guy, Sirwaki, for the community here in Hawaii. And this community goes from Schofield, a little slice of Wahiawa, wrapping around to Wailua, Haleiwa, Sunset, all the way up to Laia, Kahuku, Laia, Haula, Punaluu, Kava, all the way down to a little slice of Kaneohe. That's the area that I will represent and serve. So when the bills come out in January, me together with my team, I want to be able to red flag, identify, spot those bills that will affect, interfere, disrupt our family, our God, our Savior, the school, anything that will affect, impact us in a negative way. I want to be able to red flag those bills and then send them out in a postcard. Because normally from your representative, the only time you get something in the mail is in regards to the good things they've done, and then when they're running for office.
Yes.
Normally.
Yes.
That's the right in terms of what you receive. I want to be a guy, I want to be the guy that serves the people, that when I walk into the Senate, I become your eyes, your ears, your lips, your feet, your hands, to go to work, to identify those bills that will disrupt our family and in our community in any way, shape, or form, to make you aware of those bills. And then to say, this is what you can do as a citizen. This is what I will do as your servant. And this is what we can do together to fight and defeat these bills before they become law. I've learned on this past March 17th, though there are 24 senators and 24 Democrats and 1 Republican, and 47 Democrats in the House and 4 Republican, the one thing that we've learned is that when you bring the people together and the people's voice is heard and it's loud, they pay attention. And there's no way me alone could do anything like this in the Senate, right?
Yes.
But people from Wahiawa, Schofield, Haleiwa, all the way down to Kaneohe, together, coming together, we can defeat these things that will affect our families and our community, our businesses in a very negative way. If I could just say one more thing, also, Sirwaki. During COVID, they shut a lot of things down here in Hawaii, a lot. They mandated a lot of things as well. And the one thing that was because we have a business here, one thing that was very disturbing was when the government came out with this policy, if you will, concerning essential and non-essential. So basically they said only essential businesses could be open, but non-essential business cannot be open. Only essential jobs can continue to be performed, but non-essential jobs, no more. And as a result of that policy, thousands of people lost their jobs and hundreds of businesses went under. I believe in this. I believe that you teach people correct principles, like the prophet Joseph Smith spoke of, and you allow them their God-given freedom to make their own choice, to choose. For example, you teach them correct principles during COVID about 6 feet, socializing, sanitizing, wearing a mask, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then allow the people their God-given freedom and right to make their own choices. Some of these mandates were overwhelming to many families, and they hurt many families in a very negative way. So who is the government to tell this man that has 5 children that your job is no longer essential? Because every dollar that that man makes for his family, every dollar is essential to take care of his family. But that is the kind of policy and these other bills that come up that affect our family that these legislators don't even think twice about in terms of how it's hurting, harming, affecting in a negative way the people of Hawaii. So I want to be that guy in January, when I enter the Senate, to send out postcards to our people here on this side of the island to make them aware of those negative bills. And again, to say on that postcard, this is what you can do as a citizen. This is what I will do as your servant. This is what we'll do together to fight this. Because oftentimes people, number one, they don't know about the bills. They have no idea these bills are out there. And then number two, if they do know the bills are out there, they have no idea what course to take to defeat the bill if it's a negative bill. They don't know who to contact or what to do. I want to be the guy in the Senate that says, this is what you can do, and here's who you contact, and this is what I will do with you. I would love to be that person because right now it's not happening. And as a result, a lot of these things are being passed, and it's affecting us as people here in Hawaii.
Thank you. Let me restate a couple things. There is so many things. I can't wait to review this later and write better notes. The 2 things that hit me the most right now is, first, you are right. The only time you hear from these people who is elected in is 2 times. Is to share the good things that they do, which is few, whatever it is, and during their campaign. And what you're bringing into the table that no one has done before is to focus on all the bills that's on the table, to give enough time to our people, not only to learn what it is and how it affects, like everything you said so far, the kids, the people, God, you mentioned that, and a whole bunch of things, that you can, preview these things and send out postcards, so that people are aware, hey, if we are not getting together to fight this, it might be too late where it's going to pass. And that is so critical for you to share. We can make all the noise on the ground floor, because you know how many times I've been on that ground floor on the state capitol. But those guys on 3rd floor looking down, they're probably smiling and I could see it. I could see that frustration, man. So you hitting those points, and I hope this listener is gonna wake up and see, hey, this is our eyes, our ears, our mouth, that is going to pass it down to us. And more important, you're gonna give us the alert and educate us. I think when you're in office, well, from here on in, because we have lack of communication for people to pay attention, not to mention register to vote. We know that part, that we need to attack. But, and here's how you might be among the few Republican, but what I'm saying is you will gather from Kaneohe to Wahiwa, and like you said, with the noise going on downstairs now, with you standing up there, it makes a huge difference. Did I do my homework right? Did I listen carefully? But let me tell you, this is just to my audience. No, I did not hear from my best friend here. This is among the guys who helped me out. It's not like we rehearsal this thing. It took me one time to hear you talk, and I get it. And I don't know if you remember, you and your buddies helped me when I was the head coach at Kahuku football to organize and establish the mission statement for Kahuku, which is together we prepare to be the best. It's in my heart, and I take that.
Wow.
I took that mission. That remember that 1 week that we went through my classroom, and you and Doctor and them, and we gathered what was need to be covered in success. One sentence. Together we prepare to be the best. Together we prepare is the work that you are doing. With
Yes.
prepare. That's a big work for me. At football was practice and academic whole thing. To be the best.
Love it.
You
Love
didn't
it.
say to be the state champion, just to be the best that the kids can do. And of course, we went and win those 4 state champion in 5 years because I had a mission statement. I did work on the community to come together. Did we? Yes, we did. Ever more
Awesome.
than ever before and now and maybe in the future. That was the biggest thing, and thanks to you. And that's your work. I give you that credit, and I just want the audience to know. And that's what you're doing now. You want us to work together, so we can all prepare to be. I can use that. I've been using that statement, Art,
Love it.
in everything I do with my kids, and I believe that's why we. But anyway, back to you. Nice and huge audience. You need to share this. We need to share this, okay? Because going back to you, we got another 15 minutes, so I'm going to leave it to you, and I'll just take note, and my audience going to take note, and we will share, yeah? So go ahead, Art. Bill, my friend here, Art Hanneman, is running for senator in Hawaii, so we can fix all the corruption that is happening in Hawaii. Okay, go ahead, Art.
Thank you. Thank you, Shwaki. I appreciate that. Together we prepare to be the best. I love that. I love that you remember it. You're still living by it.
I live by it, yeah.
You're amazing. We've been having meetings here in Hawaii, a number of meetings, and talking to people, a lot of people. And an area of tremendous concern is affordable homes, affordable housing. Let me just say this: we have a lot of people that have been in leadership in government here in Hawaii, right?
Right.
And now using housing as their main drive regarding their campaign. I'm going to provide houses. Well, why wasn't it done years ago? Why wasn't it done when they were in the position they were in?
Yeah.
Right? Why didn't they do it then? Why now? And then we've got a homeless problem. And you have these political leaders that are saying, I'm going to help you with housing, but we have a homeless problem here in Hawaii that's unbelievable. Our Father in heaven would not be happy with the homeless that is going on here in Hawaii. There are people that are neglected. And now these same people are saying, I'm going to put everyone in a house. Let me say this. Here's my thought. Hawaii is very expensive. The average home right now is over $1 million. And if you take Laie, for example, 30-something% of the people in Hawaii, in Laie, 38, I think it is, 38% of the people in Laie are homeowners. 60-something% are people who rent.
Yes.
My thing is, I think if a family wants to buy a home here in Hawaii, I think the first question they need to ask themselves is, do we really want to live here in Hawaii and buy a home here in Hawaii? Really want to do we want to live here in Hawaii?
Yes.
And then if they want to live here in Hawaii, and that's their goal, then there's certain things they need to do to make that happen. I believe, for example, that we can take Kahuku High School. Not everyone's going to want to get a degree from BYU Hawaii, go to college. There are a lot of kids that college is not their thing, and that's okay. But you have parents that push their kids to get a degree. To become something in life, you need to have a degree to get a degree. But there are some kids that maybe that's not for them. But you've got Kahuku High School that after 3 o'clock, those classrooms are empty. How nice would it be to turn those classrooms into into vocational training, into a training facility to teach kids other skills like Junior Nutup Vivaha. He would be a wonderful person to come in and to be the head instructor over anything having to do with construction, plumbing, electrical, carpentry. That's Junior's area.
Yeah.
And then you give certificates to these kids, and they can come right out of these programs. I mean, an electrician, a carpenter, a plumber. These guys are making close to $100 an hour. I mean, they make really, really good money. But we can have this whole Kuku High School transformed in the evening to classes where these young people who have no interest in going to college, but they can receive vocational training, skill development, so that they can experience achieving their dream of having a home, but having income at a level that would make that possible. They can develop these skills, develop their knowledge, increase their understanding. There are a number of people here in the community that have the expertise and have the degrees that can provide this training at Kahuku High School, where these kids again can receive these amazing certificates and receive a great income and do an entrepreneurship program where they learn and they can start their own business, learn finances, how to budget, learn how to do the stock market, how to play the stocks. There's a number of things we can provide our young people if they have no desire or there's no interest in going to BYU Hawaii. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if we can tap into some of these other areas to help our young people develop these skills and then be at a level of income that is needed so they can afford a home, that would be an amazing experience for our people here on this side of the island. Affordable homes, definitely, they need to be affordable. And I think they should be affordable for the long term. And that you shouldn't be able to sell the home until after 10 years. A lot of these people go into these affordable homes or buy a home at this level. And then within a few years, they flip the house, and now it's being sold for over $1 million. I don't think that's right. I think if there's a program for affordable homes, those homes should always stay affordable.
Got you.
So those thoughts I regarding our young people, so they can reach a level of income to help them afford living here in Hawaii without having to work 2 or 3 jobs.
Man, you have these guys comment. They comment so fast that I can't read, but everything. But you not only everybody's working one way to have affordable home. It's like trying to drop the things as much as they. You also added increasing their income by getting more educated in a vocational spot. You know what? I hear you. Like all those classrooms, all those rooms could be put into better use that profits the community. And he brought me back to the windmill because that's part of why I wanted to sell my house. There's a windmill right above behind me, and of course, my house by where Junior them live, I in Huehu. I mean, it wasn't getting, we weren't getting, they didn't hear us. But what I'm saying is, if we had guys like you, who when this thing was even in the talk, it would be, people who come together to put it to stop before even start to develop the talk. All of a sudden, it's up. Like you said, those of you who join us late, how can it be when it doesn't benefit the whole Kahuku community one bit? And the windmill is there. They should take it and put it, like you said, where the people who benefit from it, they should be the ones living right next to it. It's just not right. Everything's not. But the biggest thing that you said, we can make all the noise in the world in politics from the ground floor, And we're on the state capitol in Hawaii now, guys, when we think that we can picture that. On the ground floor, but on the third floor, there's opening here with all the guys who have control. We need somebody on the third floor to be our eyes and ears and mouth so that we can be heard. Man, you know what? There's so many points here for me to but I'll let you wrap up in the next 5 to 6 minutes with anything you want to leave the audience. This is not enough time. There's too many great things, and we will come back to figure some other time for program, and we will be better prepared with the whole team so that we can all share this in the beginning, because this message today will be seen by thousands and thousands of people within the next week, especially the white people. But wow. I'll give you the next 6 minutes to wrap up our program, Art, and I'm sorry that we didn't have enough time, but man, I think we are overwhelmed with the great info that you already said. So back to you.
Thank you, Shwaki. So yes, this campaign is about the voice of the people. I believe that the voice of the people should always be heard, should always be paid attention to. And our legislators, they should move according to the voice of the people. I believe also that the standard should always be one nation under God. And I do believe as a country, as a state, as a community, that we're moving further and further away from those things that are important to us as people. These are things that give us life. I believe there's a movement throughout the country to rewrite the Constitution, to redesign the family, to re-engineer our children, and to recreate God and Jesus Christ. And it's important that we have good legislators that have a solid foundation regarding this country, the Constitution, and our God-given rights, so that this government is headed in the right direction at all times, for and with the people. Not without the people, but for and with the people. Coming back to our community here you brought up the windmills. Again, Peggy and I have been walking Kahuku, going door to door, and we've met a few people that have been affected by the windmills. I won't say her name, but this one lady, a really good friend of ours, she has to go and sleep in her car in the Laia shopping center to get away from the windmills and that sound. It affects her heart. She has a heart condition, so it affects her heart. So she can't sleep in her own home. She can't sleep in her in bed with her husband. She has to take her car at night and go sleep in the parking lot at Laia Shopping Center. But there's other people as well that we've come across where those windmills are affecting them and their health. But no one pays attention. The interesting thing is, I also found out that they want to do a landfill here in Kahuku.
What?
That buying an area to do a landfill in Hawaii. Kahuku, yes. So I looked up landfill. Did you know that most landfills are done in low-income areas, like ghetto? That's where they're done. Because no one has a voice in those areas.
Yes.
No one's anything in those areas.
They can't put it in Hawaii Kai. They never could put it in Hawaii Kai.
Exactly. And so I feel like our area here is low priority. The voice of this people, the voice of the people on this side of the island, it's low priority. It's time.
And Art, I need to insert this info. And that's why we need to register to vote and to go out and vote. It's also the lowest ratio of people to vote.
Yes.
And we need that vote to put somebody on the third floor so that when we make noise, it counts.
That's right.
But sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to insert that because I know that for a fact for years already. So go ahead.
No, so I truly feel like our area has been neglected. We are the low man on the totem pole. We are not priority number one. I'm telling you, I want to go in. I want to work for the people. I want to bring the people back up so we're not looked at as a low-income area of people that can be taken advantage of. I'm disheartened by that. When I read that there's a movement to put a landfill in Kahuku. And I say no to that. Stop these things with Kahuku. Stop it already. I want to be the person again in January 2023 that the people can depend on. And when I say that I want to be your eyes, your ears, I want to be your lips, your hands, and your feet, I mean that. I want to work for the people, to identify those areas of need for the people and work on the example. Another thing that the people wanted was an activity center.
Yes.
Why can't they have an activity center? And another thing is a dialysis center. Why can't they have a dialysis center? There's many people from dialysis in the community, and they have to travel outside the community to receive treatment. Why can't we have one here? I want to be the person who listens to the people and follows through with these things that the people have been asking for years. That's who I want to be. And I am ready to work for the people. I'm excited. And I need their vote. And you're right, they need to register. Hawaii.gov. Hawaii.gov is the registration. Hawaii.gov. Follow the links. And Sawaki, August 13th is the last day to vote in the primary. August 13th. August 1, starting next week Monday, you can go in personally to Kapolei Hale and Honolulu Hale and vote in person. There's other stations around the island that will open up. I think there's 5 other stations, but those 2 stations guarantee when you go in there, your vote is safe and secure. And one party in the primary, they have to vote one party. They have to vote Republican all the way. They can't go back and forth. So they have to vote for me. They have to vote Republican all the way on the ticket during the primary. And I thank you again for this wonderful opportunity to talk to your people, to talk to your fans. God bless you for the work that you're doing and getting information out there to so many people. Thank you. And it's an honor to be on your show. And to be your
my next show, as soon as we end, the next show is in Tonga High School alumni, which is Hawaii base, and it's big because it's happening next weekend, and there's thousands of people attending it, and of course, the president of that alumni is Hopate Taufa, so there's a big gathering there, but I'll be seeing you guys. I'll be there on August 4th, and I'll be there for like almost a month, but I'll visit with you. But so all my shows, I'm gonna gather your info and speak on your behalf, because this is what it is, and we're gonna find another time. And but I want to thank those people who listen to this show. Please share this to your families and friends, especially in Hawaii. We need guys like you out in, you excited. You got me excited. I mean, man, I'm excited. Now I look back, all the guys that we was voted to be on the 3rd floor. Yeah, same thing. Here's what I've done. And the next campaign is the campaign. Those are the 2 letters that we get in the mail. But, the letter, the postcard you will be sending is like giving us the heads up on real deal. I want to thank everybody who attended this meeting. Please, this will be on for a long time, so continue to share it and listen and review, and you can ask questions. And now on most of my shows, I'll be talking about this. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so very, very much. Until next time, mahalo from Hawaii Nei. Malobito.